Hello and welcome to Toad Rolls Dice, where we have another Sunday preview, and this one will please, well, pretty much anybody wanting more Space Wolves. Just before we get into what's actually coming, you can probably guess. If Codex Supplement Space Wolves is going for pre-order, I think you have a very good idea of what is going up as well. But just before we do, this is the Sunday preview for the 22nd of June 2025, which means everything shown in this article, unless it's a made to order, that's a caveat I should probably keep throwing into these, is going up on Saturday the 28th of June, and all will be releasing on Saturday the 12th of July. I don't know, it's coming a little bit soon for me because the last 4 out of 5, I think, pre-orders have all had stuff that for the channel and to keep growth going, I've had to pick up. So I would have liked another week or two without this coming out from a selfish point of view, but from a fan point of view, from a growing a Space Wolves army point of view, and from everybody being able to get these amazing products, this is exactly what I want to see. Army box comes out, 3-4 weeks later, the preview goes up. This time frame feels quite nice. It's still a long way from the reveals that we had. I'd like that to tighten up a little bit, but this is everything Space Wolf players want, I think. So Codex Supplement Space Wolves is going up. You've got your standard edition, and it's a nice cover actually, and then your limited edition cover as well. My review of this book, well, it's more of an overview I suppose, went up at the end of, I think it was at the end of the last week just gone. I'll throw it on the end of this video. If you're interested, check it out. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you're excited for this book. The man, the myth, the legend, Logan Grimnar will be gracing tabletops in about 3 weeks time. Add build time, paint time, whatever. He's finally coming. Stunning model, stunning rework. He's in his new Terminator scale. I think he is every bit the badass that the character deserves, and I'm really looking forward to picking this up at some point. Definitely a stunning model that I will be adding to my collection. Njal Stormcaller in his new Tacticus armor. Unfortunately that term is stuck around, but he's been downgraded from Terminator to tactical armor. Nevertheless, what an incredible model. I even like the crow, the cyber crow that he has. Beautiful. But he's coming. Arjak Rockfist with his dual build options. I think he looks so much better throwing the hammer. That pose is fine for a Terminator character, but the hammer throwing just fits Arjak so much better, and I believe that's how the entire community sees it. Dwarf Priest is coming out on his own. Incredible model. I reviewed him, his sprue, I haven't built him yet. His sprue in the army box review that I did, that was a couple of weeks ago as well. It's on the channel. There's a 40k playlist. It's all tagged in there if you want to check out any of my content on Space Wolves. Stunning model. Love the options as well. You've got a couple of different heads, 2 different arms. The pose and thing isn't interchangeable, but there's some nice little things to make them stand out on the tabletop if you want. The Wolfguard Battle Leader, potentially the best model in the box. So many options. He's so cool. His rules are pretty good as well. You're going to want a couple of these. He's coming out on his own. Honestly, you buy one of these and you can probably easily kit bash quite a few different options. Maybe 2. Well, I've done 2 with 1 extra body if you wanted, with the bits that you get, depending on loadout and things that you want. But yeah, there's so many options in there. It's such a nice, not just character model, but also a bit of an upgrade sprue if you want a sergeant to stand out, you know, have a hammer or something. Really, really cool. Wolfguard Terminators, this is their first release. We haven't had these yet. They are looking very good. Do they have options as well? Just have a quick look. So it's 5 Wolfguard Terminators, can be assembled with Storm Bolters or Storm Shields, and obviously axes, or power axes, power swords. We have I think it's a relic axe they called it. Yeah, relic great axe, or a pair of lightning claws on the sergeant, so a little bit of variety depending on what you're going into. It also offers 5 helmeted heads and 13 unhelmeted heads. That is a lot of Terminator heads. So again, probably some upgrades in there for a standard Terminator squad. Well, if you had the bits left over and you can just Space Wolf them up a little bit. They do look very different, I think, to the standard Terminators, which is kind of where they shine for me. But interested to see this kit. I hope I will be able to pick this up. I'll tell you what I'm looking at if it's coming out. I've not gone through this article yet. If it's coming out, I'll tell you what I'm looking to pick up. Head Takers, another stunning kit. Nice rules. You get 3 guys with a selection of weapons. They are a bit more monopose than the other kits. You get different head options, you get helmets as well if you want. Pretty much your option is they have a storm shield or they have a power sword as a dual wield weapon. The wolves are just that pose as well, but they're stunning. Really, really nice. And these are your Blade Guard veteran option for Space Wolves basically. Stunning kit. Really, really impressed with the amount of detail on these. And while it's a little bit, sad that we don't have so many options, they're very obviously meant to be a melee unit, but stunning. Really, really like these. Blood Claws are coming as well, so they're battle line, and you can have units of up to 20. So you may want to pick up a few of these, because a unit of 20 on their own, 80 attacks with those chainswords. They are basically assault intercessors, so they're bolt pistol and chainsword use. Sergeant has a couple of different options, but they look amazing. I love the sculpts. I love the mix of armor. There's so many heads. There's helmeted options. There's beaky helmets. There's the Mark 7 standard like grill front helmet. Really, really good for just options, but also just a really, really nice kit and a very nice unit. Grey Hunters, these are basically your objective holders. That's how you're looking at them. Again, 4 attacks each with chainswords. You can only take a unit of 10. They probably are going to be included. I think they're quite nice. I think you can do some nice things with them. You can see the traditional Space Marine helmet there. I think it's Mark 7. But again, loads of options. They look really nice. A good mix of different armor patterns. You also get quite a lot of different heads, helmeted and unhelmeted. Yeah, really nice. Really, really impressed with these as well. Data cards, yeah, we knew this was coming. They will be the exact same data cards that came in the army set, so if you don't have those and you do want your data cards, pick them up. They're a nice product. And Space Wolves dice, they're kind of a bit boring, aren't they? It's that blue-grey, which isn't bad, but I would have maybe preferred a white or a gold wolf or yellow wolf. The black just looks a bit subdued, I think. But honestly, I'm tempted to pick these up. And I know I preach about not buying Games Workshop dice because they're expensive and you only get 16, so you're going to be paying 20 quid, 25 quid for 16 dice. But I am tempted. Talk me out of it in the comments. Amazingly, we're getting new drop pods. This is a surprise. Oh, right, so what I was waiting for isn't actually coming this week, so I've got a bit of a reprieve. I'm looking for the Space Wolves Combat Patrol. I'll probably talk about that when I get it, or when it goes up for preview, maybe next week or in a couple of weeks. It definitely isn't there, is it? Okay, maybe I will pick up Logan Grimm now then. Yeah, there's no Combat Patrol there. Interesting. Why would you not release the Combat Patrol with all of this stuff? I suppose it's because the Combat Patrol has 3 of these kits in it for a really good price. So you get the Terminators, you get Wolfen, which add to taste, I think. I probably will avoid them for the most part, but a lot of people like Wolfen, I think. But you get Wolfguard Battle Leader, you get the Terminators, and then you get a unit of Blood Claws, a 10-man, but a unit of Blood Claws as well. So Combat Patrol is a really nice box. It's not here. Interesting. Drop pods. I love a drop pod. These are contentious. These are not the drop pods you remember. They have been reworked to be easier to put together. In a box, you get 2 instead of 1, I believe. I'm a little bit shady on the old product. You get extra rubble to put around there, so that's optional. You could just have the doors open. You may be able to build them and cut them up enough to hinge the doors with a bit of brass rod or something. I honestly don't know if that's going to be feasible. Yeah, I like these, but I also don't like these. I'm torn. We talked about it when they were revealed. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how these are going to go down, but ultimately, I think because it's a Space Marine product, and people will find a use for them, and this is going to mean their new datasheet will be coming out soon, I think that these will sell quite quickly. But I don't own a drop pod, so if I wanted a drop pod, I will probably have to buy these, but we'll see. I'm kind of at this point waiting to see what happens in 11th. Kill Team. Amazingly, the Shrine statue that was in the Blood and Zeal box is coming as a made-to-order item if you want it. Big thing with this is there's rules for chaosifying it and making it a bit more ruined and gross, or you can have it very religious, well-kept, much like you see here. It talks to you about how to kit bash it and do different things with a statue, so maybe you want multiples of them. So this is a made-to-order item. The shrine statue will be available for 10 days beginning on Saturday the 28th of June, and it may take up to 180 days to arrive if you do order one. But that's it for 40k. Obviously a little bit of Kill Team. I will fold that into 40k because it's just terrain. Moving over to Black Library, Dawn of Fire, The Silent King is coming in its fancy edition, leather bound. This is number 9 of the Dawn of Fire series. It will be available in multiple formats, including a special edition with leather effect cover with a rounded spine and foil text. It also has a gold ribbon bookmark, contains pieces of interior art that you can see there. I'm guessing there's other pieces. Has gold gilt page edges, and each copy is numbered and signed by the author. Who is the author? It's Guy Haley. Okay, final chapter of the Dawn of Fire series, and then you've got it here in hardback. Oh no, paperback. Nice. I much prefer a paperback. So paperback, ebook, and audiobook as well, so they're coming out at the same time. Final book of Dawn of Fire series, Silent King, is also coming in French and German in paperback and ebook. That's good. I like that they're simultaneous releases. Paragon of Faith and Other Stories. This is focused on the battle sisters of the Adepta Sororitas fighting the enemies of the Imperium with fire and fury. Let's have a little look. So this contains Paragon of Faith by Amanda Bridgman and Saint's Judgment by Ness Brown, as well as short stories. We have Infernal Motives by Jude Reed, Our Lady of the Voyage by Kate Flack, Joy of the Martyr by Ness Brown, Redemption Through Blood by John Solito, and The Fires of Our Faith by Nicholas Werner. This is available to pre-order in hardback, ebook, and MP3 audiobook. Ravener The Omnibus. If I didn't have all of these on Audible, I'd consider this. So this is the sequel to some of the Eisenhorn novels, potentially leading into the future narrative of all of 40k. It sort of sits between Eisenhorn and Beckwin. It's not current end of the 41st millennium timeline, but who really knows with Warhammer. So far I'm listening to Ravener, which is the first book. I'm on chapter 3, I think I've only just started it, but it's got that typical, wonderful Dan Abnett world-building Warhammer style. If you like Dan Abnett, if you like Eisenhorn, and you haven't read this or want to pick this up, definitely think about doing this. The Omnibus collects the novels Ravener, Ravener Returned, and Ravener Rogue, alongside short stories Playing Patience, Thorn Wishes Talon, and Perihelion, all by Dan Abnett. It's available in paperback and ebook, and in all honesty, I'm tempted to pick this up anyway, just to have a physical copy of it. Above and Beyond by Denny Flowers is coming out on paperback. This follows the legendary exploits of aerial ace Commander Lucille von Schad. Denny Flowers has had quite a few releases recently. This has probably been out in hardback at some point. It doesn't say it's a reissue, but Denny Flowers has been doing some stuff. Never read a book by them. Let me know what you think if you've read it. Demon Hunter is also coming. Look at that iconic character who absolutely doesn't look like a squat in big pants. Demon Hammer by Darius Hinks focuses on Inquisitor Kotiaz, one of the most famous, fabled, and iconic characters who still haven't had a new model for decades. Probably. This is going up for pre-order next week in paperback. I've never gone down the route of Inquisitors outside of Eisenhorn and Kotiaz. I don't know anything about the character, I just know. Was it the Demon Hunters Codex? Many, many years ago. What, 20 years ago maybe? Maybe more, maybe 25 years ago. Probably 3rd edition. I remember that artwork. I remember this character getting his stunning metal model in his armor with his fur. Beautiful eagle. I wish they'd update it at some point. Oaths of Damnation. This one is an Exorcist's novel from Robbie McNiven. Robbie McNiven's had a lot of stuff come out recently as well. Quite a few short stories, I think. Obviously another prolific Black Library writer. Never read any of their stuff. Interested to know. If you're an Exorcist fan, will you be picking this up? I like a dual-wielding character, as you know. It's a cool-looking Reaver. Granted, it's a Reaver. It's a cool-looking Reaver on the front. Everchosen is also coming. So this is a Warhammer The Old World Slaves to Darkness audiobook. Archon, Everchosen. This one was penned by Rob Sanders. Moving over to Warhammer TV Plus this week, we have numerous things. The Mech Boys Workshop returns with two of the team who paint armies for Battle Report discussing large-scale hobby projects and the tricks they use to complete dozens of miniatures to a high standard at a time. In Battle Report, Alariel and the Lady of Vines team up to squash some Maggotkin in another Age of Sigmar episode. And it looks like Lore Masters is giving us the breakdown on the Humble Bolter, everybody's favourite weapon. Or one of. I think the bolters are pretty cool. And over here at WarCom, they're covering Horus Heresy. Obviously, we know that that stuff's coming. We got that tease on Friday. They're going to be looking at various lore and game systems coming in the new rulebook. That's going to be exciting. The game systems one is the one that everybody's worried about. So hopefully that's going to give us some good insight into what 3.0 is actually going to be. We also have more with the Grand Cathay team. They are really churning out stuff with the Grand Cathay team. They're all stunning models. I cannot find fault with any of them, but this will be week 3 of Grand Cathay content. And there's also some stuff about Blood Bowl, which I won't cover, but if that's your thing, keep an eye out. What they don't say is anything about a reveal on Monday. Now, we know Monday there's normally a reveal for a game system. The last 4 weeks have been pretty good. We've had 3 weeks of Age of Sigmar, really nice models, but also confirmation of battle tomes coming down the line. Monday just gone, we got confirmation that the next Codex supplement coming, 40k, is the Black Templars. They're also getting a Crusader Ancient model, really cool model. I don't think they mentioned that on last week's preview, so I would expect Monday we're going to get a reveal of some sort. It might not be a battle tome, it might not be a codex or a codex supplement, but I would expect that we get something for a game system. I was just looking before this article dropped, I was looking back at Necromunda and just seeing when the last model reveal was. We haven't had anything since the end of March. I know Middle-earth Strategy Battle Game has had a whole host of stuff recently, a lot of re-released models, metal models and things. But the new army book and new stuff, there is still characters who have rules in the variety of books who don't have models yet, so potentially a Middle-earth model. Or, you know, they could just casually drop the new edition of Warcry. Who knows? Pick of the preview this week. Yeah, it was going to be the Combat Patrol, but that's only because I'm being cheap. Let's be honest. There can only be one. It's Logan Grimm now. He's incredible. So this is the true, I guess, excluding the Combat Patrol, release week for Space Wolves in just over 3 weeks' time. Anybody with the limited edition codex that came in the army set will be able to put in their code and finally access their rules in the app. Space Wolves will also become tournament legal by the end of July, which means we're going to see hopefully a bit of a shake-up for Space Marines and see just how good the Wolves of Fenris are on the tabletop. I think they're great from a narrative standpoint. You know me, I'm not a tournament player, but some of these characters that are coming out with their new models, they're going to add an extra level of threat to this, and that's just exciting. I can't wait to see. Hopefully we will actually get something this week on talking about the Space Wolves as well, because more Space Wolf stuff just makes me happy. Let me know what your pick of the preview is. Let me know what you're looking forward to pre-ordering next Saturday. Stick around, we'll be covering Warhammer articles and things, and I've got some other videos I'm working on at the minute that will be dropping next week for a variety of Games Workshop products. Hopefully some other products as well. We'll see. If I have the time, I will get them done. So let me know what you're excited about in the comments below. As always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.